this time of the year again. What's the feeling?
Yeah, there's a really, really positive feel in the group at the moment. We've had a really strong pre-season and a lot of new faces, and the girls have been working really hard since January. So yeah, there's a really good vibe and ready to attack round one.
How important was that pre-season off the back of last season's performance?
Yeah, it was really important because that's where you get your most gains. Is off a disappointing season, we reviewed it, changed the list a fair bit. So we had 8 new players come in. And we've just got to work, and we've really identified parts of our game that needed to improve, and mostly it was around our fundamentals and our physical component. So the girls have worked pretty hard on that, and now it's showtime.
Cam, I guess last season you said the pre-season was very different to the first one. How has this one differed to the last one?
I did, didn't I? It's improved even more so. So as time goes on, obviously I'm coming into my 3rd year, but a lot of the players are new. As time goes on, you figure out what you really value in a pre-season, what's important, and what things you probably spend less time on. So I think our ability to spend some more time in match play, we started that a lot earlier this pre-season. So not only does that help the group with enjoyment levels, because everyone just wants to play, it also allows us to prepare for what's to come in round one. I think last year, we had a pretty tough draw to start, but we probably didn't really fly into round one. I probably felt like we crawled into round one because we had a lot of injured players returning, a lot of players in modified training, where at the moment we've had a really strong list for the last 2 months in pre-season. So it's been hot for spots, selection's been really tough, so I feel like the group's really ready to start well.
You're pretty healthy list, but I did wonder about Chloe, and because I know she played through last season. What is the back injury she's been managing? How is that, just a wear and tear over time, or what had happened there?
Yeah, we really feel for Chloe at the moment. It's something that just came out of nowhere halfway through pre-season. It's an injury that she's had previously, but it just flared up and she just couldn't get it right. And then it's just making the call that, any type of back injury, you've really got to make sure you be pretty cautious with that. So we made the call to going for surgery last week for Chloe. And now we just, support her through that. And she's a really important part of our program and where we're going. And, you forget she's only 30. She's still got so many good years of footy ahead of her. So we lose her this year on the field, but she'll still value add a lot to us with her, just her aura around the club and her professionalism. So she'll still help us this year. It just won't be on field. And then, next year we'll get her fit and firing.
Sorry, you talk about the players' enjoyment levels. Do you get a sense that there's a bit of eagerness, or not quite impatience, but they want the results to turn around from last year, that they're so committed to making sure it's a better season in terms of results as well?
Yeah, definitely. I think, when you lose the last game of the year, don't go back too far, but that's the last taste that it leaves in you for the season. And a lot of the players post that had really strong off seasons and pre-seasons. We want to make sure we sing the song more. So there's a and you can still enjoy something and work hard. I think that's sometimes a misconception in elite sport, is that you can enjoy working hard. And these girls have certainly worked hard, and the enjoyment levels are still very much there. And it's it's understanding that we don't want to be too patient. We want to start executing now, but also having an eye on, we do have a really young team, is that it's going to be a build, but what we can be really confident that we're going to be a more improved side. So if we can play the game on our terms a little bit more, then the results will come sooner rather than later, and really confident that we put ourselves in a really good position to sing the song a lot more this year.
You talked about last year's start to the season. Obviously, you played some really good teams in the early weeks of the year, and when it's such a short season, it's so important to try and get that momentum early. Has that been a focus this year, to go, okay, obviously the Bulldogs are recruited well, they're going to be a stronger side this year, but having a team who finished a bit lower down the ladder last year is a good chance for you to hopefully start with a bit of positive momentum?
Definitely. I think last year when we looked at the draw, it was really divided, and that first half was all the top 4 sides, and then the second half we had some opportunities, and that's probably a mistake we made, is we looked too far ahead. So we made it really clear this year we are just looking at Bulldogs round one. And round 2 and 3 is future problems right now. Everything that we've been doing in the last couple of months since the draws come out is just preparing for the first bounce against the Bulldogs. And you can make the mistake of going back on previous years. It's a long time ago since last season's, and they've obviously changed their list over, new coach, lots of high draft picks, so that they're going to be a really enthusiastic side as well. So we're just looking at the Bulldogs, and we did our Oppo this week, so we've got to find some parts of their game that we can try and hold, and then some parts that we can exploit. But yeah, it's certainly, we don't want to be, we want to launch into round 1 this year, and I feel like we're really ready to attack it.
I also wondered how Daisy had tracked. She's coming back, right? Like from her ACL. How's she going?
Yeah, Daisy's in today. Daisy's a ripper. She's coming to the program, and the girls and the players and staff, everyone just loves her. And it's one of those tough things in football with the ACLs, is that they're just so unpredictable. And Daisy was super strong, and she was flying in pre-season, and unfortunately went down. But we see her to be a player for the future for us, and which is going to help out coaching our backline a little bit this year, and she can still value add for us. And we'll put the arms around her over the next little bit, and we've got really good high performance staff here that have worked with a number of players on their ACLs, so she's in really good hands, and we can't wait to get her back fit and firing for next season.
In terms of the team for Saturday, is it looking like a few new faces? I think we saw Michaela confirmed, but are we going to see someone like an Ailish as well make her debut?
Well, selection will be after this. We'll announce the team. But yes, there will be a number of new faces, multiple new faces playing this weekend, which just shows that, we're growing as a team. And the players who have come in, they've certainly come in and made us better immediately. So we have had a lot of changes and we are building, but I think I'm really confident this group's going to click really quickly, because they come in, they feel comfortable, and we're going to pick players on what they can do, and there's a number of players that you'll see this season, they'll come and bring their strengths and have really strong seasons for us and make us better.
You talk about the new list, but there's been some player movement across the lines. I think an example is Alicia even moving into the forward line. Can you talk a little bit about, I guess, the refreshment around player movement there?
Yeah, there'll be a few this Saturday, I think. That we've changed a few players around, because what we've probably found previously is when we play our game plan and system, it can work. We just haven't been able to do it for long enough or execute it. So it's drafting in some players that has traits to play within that, but also the current players that we have moved them around a little bit, so their strengths complement the way we play a little bit more. And once you get to know the players a little bit more and the game plan, then we can be a bit clear around who can go where. So yeah, Alicia going forward is going to be great. And you think about Alicia's strengths, is her ability to be crafty in front of goal. So she's going to make a great small forward, and she's going to be a headache for lots of oppositions. So we're really excited to see Alicia play there, and then be a number of players that changed their positions this year, and they look really comfortable.
You're from Canberra, right?
Yeah.
So do you get kind of an extra kick out of taking the girls down there?
I love it, yeah. Love playing in Canberra. And the girls do too. They love Manuka Oval. It's such a great facility, and Canberra always get in behind us. Peasy and I usually go back together, me and Emily Pease. We love Canberra. It's a great time to go back. You get friends and family, and I think my little niece will run out with Beck Beeson for her first game as captain. And it's just a family club. So my little niece came into a training session. We're in Canberra, and she's met all the girls. And yeah, it's quite nice that Rebecca gets to walk out with her on Saturday as well.
How much of a focus has defence been this pre-season? Obviously, probably conceded a lot more points than you wanted to last year, but getting a few people back another year under someone like Tani's belt and just solidifying the base around her, what's kind of been the key messaging in those defensive structures?
Yeah, probably the biggest thing around the scoring against came off our inability to win contested ball. So we're 18th in the comp for contested ball. So if you lose contested ball and clearance, you essentially give opposition a head start. Yep. So that the ball stays in your back half straight away. So it's probably more around our midfield and having a lot of new faces in our midfield to hope we can win more clearance and contested ball, and then play the game in our front half and give our backs a bit of a chop out. So that was probably the biggest thing around, we got scored against, but it was because of our probably inability to win contested footy and clearance. So that's probably been our biggest work on. And then just understanding that if we can be better in those areas, the way we can set up behind our attack can keep the ball in our front half for longer. So yeah, ideally you'd love to see us improve in our ability of winning clearance, contested footy, And then what you'll find from that is we won't be scored against as heavily. And also some players have really improved and are settled in the back line as well, which is good natural growth.
And then obviously Zali had an incredible year last year. Have you seen that she's taken more steps again, because she's always been a prodigious talent, but she set the comp alight last year and it looks like doing it again?
Yeah, no, I've forewarned Zali that it's not going to be easy for her this year. I think every team will look at Zali and put some time into her. She's a great player, great person, and there's no fluke why Zali's a good player. She just loves footy. She comes up from Albury, and every time she gets here, she trains. She's one of our best trainers. She's one of the last off the track, just always working on her craft, and she knows that she's going to have to lift her game because, there'll be more attention for her. But I'm really confident she's going to, entertain the competition as she does, and we love having her in the side. And she'll play a bit more midfield time as well for us. So we're lucky to have Zali, and I think she'll really just go to the next level year on year. And you forget she's only 19.
What do you make of the new game style under Tam at the Bulldogs?
Yeah, it's very different. I think Tam's went in there and you can see that she's got a really clear plan of how she wants the playing group to play. And I think that's a great thing you can do as a head coach, to have a clear system. And we've had some good look at it. It's only one game as well. Like, you don't get 3 or 4 practice games to look at. We got one official one. So we've had a good look at it, and they've got some really good young players that I think will execute the way that Tam wants them to play. And now it's our ability to know what they're going to do, try to stop it, and then use the strengths of our game plan to make sure that can be on our terms for longer.
And I suppose winning for Elise Parker's 5th game is also added spice to it.
Yeah, it's a great. You love when there's debutantes and then a 50 gamer, because one couple of players will be starting their journey, and then you're celebrating a player that's been enormous for the Giants Footy Club. Elise has come in and won, I think, 4 best and fairest. You forget she's only 23. She's heart and soul of the club, and we get to celebrate her on the weekend. And Parks is a big game player, so I think Elise will love running out there round 1. 50 games. I'm really looking forward to watching Elise play.